When someone's calling you, your like basically your best mate is calling you a coward, and you are doing something to help him. Hey guys, it's Naim. Now today I'm gonna be reacting to Merlin and Arthur. Where have you been from Merlin? Now you must know this is my favorite, absolutely favorite show. I don't care what anyone says. I've watched these series, and there's been 5 series since the start, since the inception, like 10 times a minimum. And I have watched this video. I have watched it, and for me, I could watch it over and over again. I love the character and I love the relationship between Arthur and Merlin. So by the way, this is a spoiler if you haven't watched it, which I plead, at least give the first 3-4 episodes a try. For me, this is my favorite show because it's not too bloody, it's not too, it's got tongue-in-cheek humor, and you could see the cute sort of relationship between them. Yeah, I could talk about this all day, but I swear down, this is my favorite, absolute favorite show. Please, I beg you, watch it. I get teary-eyed mentioning it. If you want to see more reactions, please like, subscribe, and you get a free peg. I uploaded a video yesterday, but it got blocked. So,
Merlin, if I die, please.
What?
oh, this is obviously a compilation of all, yeah, throughout the series. So
It's my destiny. As it has been since the day we met.
it makes me cry, bro.
Did you never
I
tell
swear
me?
down.
He must care for you a great deal.
I wanted to,
Because
Why
to
does a
me,
lonely
this is like,
servant continue to risk everything?
this is the epitome of love. It's fitting since Valentine's was only a few days ago, but how Merlin, who has magic and it's banned and outlawed, and he uses it to serve and protect Arthur so that they can actually reign together. They can preside over a land with magic being legal. And the only bummer was the ending really didn't give that even a glimpse of Merlin and Arthur united. I want to speak more about it, but for those who haven't watched it, like, I don't know if you want to watch this video. Yeah, it's that, but the relationship, I swear down, for me, every time I watch it, I wish there was a book, a legitimate book about this particular BBC series. For me, it's just, and it's lovely because Merlin is typically in tales and narratives an old guy with a wizard, which he does become at some stage, but it's kind of nice that they're sort of similar background and age. Yeah.
Why do you care so much? The boy's just a servant.
He's here for you.
I'm just his servant.
whatever happens, it's going to be fine.
I know I'm a prince.
The music as well is
I'm
like,
friends.
I love it.
If I wasn't a prince,
What?
well then,
I always thought if things had been different, we'd have been good friends.
They were and are.
Take me with you, please.
what are you doing?
I'm coming with you. I have to come with you. I'm glad you're here, man.
Merlin! Where have you been?
Where have you been? Just.
This is where he dies.
Just hold me. If he doesn't accept me for who I really am.
It's once again clear to me that those who practice magic are evil and dangerous. Pure
See, that's why he's reticent to actually expose himself as someone who has sorcery. He does at an early episode. He actually does reveal it, but no one believes him. But he's had it all this time, and that's why he doesn't want to because what they have is beautiful. This relationship they have is beautiful, and he doesn't want to mess it up because saying it would be like a huge act of betrayal. Especially that they're that close, and one of the main things they fight against is magic. You know, sometimes Merlin has to listen to Arthur say this, magic's pure evil, whilst he himself has used magic to save Arthur 1,000,001 times. And his ego, he's never looked, I think he even mentions it in this compilation, he never really looks for credit. He genuinely cares about Arthur. Man, this gets me teary-eyed. This is why I love the show, man, because it's about raw emotion for me. I know there's a love between Arthur and Gwen, but I think the truest love is between Merlin and Arthur. And so, I shouldn't say truest love. There's different types of love, but I mean the most.
He's not the friend I hoped he was.
You ever going to change, Merlin?
I don't want you to change. Didn't want you to feel that you were alone. That's what worried you.
But if it is poisoned, he'll die.
I can't stand by and watch him die.
Why can you never just let me be?
I'm your friend.
I also do this because you're my friend and I don't want to lose you. Came back because you're the only friend I have and I couldn't bear to lose you. No man
I can't lose him!
is worth your tears.
It's funny because I'm crying. I swear this show gets me, man. For me, like, fair enough, some people won't like it, which is fine, but for me it is. It's a test of loyalty, test of wisdom, test of strength. Arthur represents, the soldier guy, but he does have a heart. Merlin is obviously not a physical soldier, but he does have a humility in him. He carries a whole bunch of burdens that I don't think, despite Arthur's physical strength, Merlin has the fortitude that I've never seen anyone have. Of course, this is all fiction, but yeah. If I can translate to you how I feel about this show, I think these tears does it.
My friend!
I've seen how much he needs you.
And Mordred ends up slicing Arthur. And it wouldn't have been. It was those catch-22 moments where Merlin could see the future and he was trying to prevent it. But the very thing he was doing, preventing it, was actualizing it. Which is, that's another burden he has to bear.
You're certainly not.
How much you need him.
Sometimes I think I know.
Oh, and apologies again, but this is my channel, I'll do what I want. It's also helpful because I think a lot of bros, a lot of guys do this as well, where you don't want to be too touchy-feely with your friend. I don't know, it's just the way it is culture-wise. I guess sometimes it is helpful to be emotional, and I don't mean, when I say emotional, I don't mean crying. I mean just having those tender moments. Because it's so jovial and jokey, banter with your friend or mate. But sometimes you actually just need someone to lean on and to hear and to listen. And from my experience from school, primary, secondary, and here, and I'm sure you guys can relate too, like, guys are generally not, we are open, of course we are, but like not as open as we would be. We say it, but I don't think we feel it or show the feeling. But on the other hand, I've had experiences where again, it doesn't take a lot for me to cry and me to be emotionally weak. Where I've had it flipped, and actually some of the girls like mock me for being like that. I have had times like that, and it's just, guys, it's fine. For me, we don't open up, but it's not painful. But when a girl like mocks you for being too open or too and she, man up or stuff like that, I swear down that hurts more than anything, because it's just like you're yeah, it's a double-edged sword. See, he uses magic to protect
all this time.
thought I knew you.
Mercy. What?
Merlin,
What are you doing?
I'm going back. For a servant.
Do you really expect me to accept that? Just to sit here and take their word that Merlin's gone? If I need a servant in the next life, then ask me.
See that little nudge there? That's what I think guys do, which is like or even my dad sometimes does it. Like you show love, not like actually doing it, but like in a sort of shy, coy way, which I guess is funny. It is cool, and I think healthy at times as well, because you don't want to be too open, too quick. But I think I'm starting to be more open about it. Jesus, what the heck was that? I guess strategically it's not always the best move, like in job interviews and stuff, or on a first date. It might be a bit too much. I don't know. I always feel like some people say it's not lying, it's just telling half-truths and being strategic. I can somewhat agree with that, but on the other hand, I feel like if you want people at the top, politician leaders, any moral authority or authorities, to practice what they preach, to be leaders of this kind, I think you have to follow by conscience yourself. You can't. It bugs me when you cringe when someone, a leader, lies, but you yourself tell lies on a daily basis, not just to your others but to yourself. Like when they ask a job interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like I could easily answer the corporate way of answering, but I could also answer honestly. I know it's a strategic game, but I do not feel comfortable about telling half-truths, let alone lies. Like, it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't. I'm not trying to set a moral high ground here. It's just, if you wanna set a precedent for other people to follow, for other people to have that standard, why on earth do you live below that standard? I do it all the time. Yeah, I live below the standard I have, but I admit it. I concede. Yeah, I hate when people. It's just a side point, I agree, but for me it really annoys me why answering half-truths is an acceptable thing. Is it? You could just say, I don't want to answer that question. You could just say that, because that would be an honest answer, as opposed to just like squirming or skirming, I don't know what the word, squirming around the issue. Anyway.
Those jokes about you being a coward, I never really meant any of them.
But the sad part is, if you listen to the rest of what he said in that specific scene, he says, but I guess I was wrong. I think that's referencing to one of the final episodes where Merlin says he's not going to fight in the war, in the battle. He actually is. He is actually going to fight in the battle. But he has to change into a different thing for that to happen. So Arthur calls him a coward, when in actuality Merlin is trying to protect him once again. And imagine that, when someone's calling you, basically your best mate is calling you a coward, and you are doing something to help him, and he just doesn't know it. Like, imagine that not just only your ego, but a bit of your heart chips away as well. This is what I'm saying, like, Merlin bears a whole bunch of burdens. But I love that show. I love this show.
I always thought you were the bravest man I ever met.
Yeah, and then he says, I guess I was wrong, basically.
Thank you.
Oh, that shitty goosebumps.
I want you to always be you.
Yeah, that's him as the old guy. This is the ending. I just didn't like the ending because the whole show kept building up between Arthur and Merlin and Arthur to reigning in Camelot with magic allowed. At least give us a glimpse of that, what it would look like. But they end it on this, and it's just kind of, it didn't feel like a good ending. The climax was amazing. Like the build up, I swear down, every time. I loved the show. I loved the relationships between everyone. And you know, the actress that played Morgana, she is fire. She is fire. But in all seriousness, yeah, this is my favorite show. And I part of me is sad that it ended. I wish there was a 6th series to at least give us a glimpse or an extra episode. But what gives me solace is that I can always rewatch it. And I remember watching it. Oh yeah, I do remember watching it in year 6. In year 6, first when it came out, I think. Year 6 or 7, I'm not sure. I think it was year 6. And there was a friend whom I no longer really contact with anymore. I think his name was Fuad, and we used to have each other's hotmails. And we used to actually, every Saturday when it came on, I think it was Saturday, we used to email each other about what happened. I swear to God, I remember that. But for me, this is my favorite show. I do have, I guess, favorite movies, but it's not as clear cut. This clear cut, without a doubt, is my favorite show. And I don't necessarily know if it's the actual production of the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm into fantasy stuff. Because I do like Lord of the Rings. I do like The Hobbit. Maybe it's because of the genre, and also because I'm a softie. I do get quite emotional. I like the relationship aspect of it. For me though, what I don't like is like the romance stuff. Because I think, especially for me, like what I've been through, it just annoys me when I see romance. There is romance in it, but what I realize is there's a deeper level of relationship between father and son on both sides. Merlin's dad, Merlin's mum, Arthur's dad and mum. There is relationship between friends, and that I like, the different dynamics of relationships. If it was just purely romance between Arthur and Gwen, it just wouldn't be. I wouldn't like it as much. But because it's friendship, I swear down, films or shows with deep level of friendship get to me. Like I mentioned this to Oliver, my friend. We were watching a film. We might watch it, another one this Sunday. How to Train Your Dragon. It's an animation film, but again, it's the relationship between him and the dragon. I just like the film because of the relationship. Likewise, there. I'm rambling on. If you want to see more reactions, please like, subscribe, and you get a free. You know what? I want more subscribers, man. I'll be honest with you. I want more subscribers. I want to put more value into this, but I need more subscribers for YouTube to spread the word. And maybe I need to humble myself and say 1 subscriber is enough. And it is. I do get happy when I see 1 extra sub and 1 extra like and 1 extra comment. Honestly, I do like it. I can't respond to everyone because sometimes I actually don't know what to say. You put your input and I just say thanks, but it comes off as rude. So sometimes I do read it genuinely. And if you do have a request, I have some in line, but I don't have them. Like, it's gonna take some while to get around to them. But yeah, peace, bless, much love. Thank you for watching. Bless.